Alright, here we go again. We thought we'd change the scene a little bit and do some work with the combat staff. Now you might ask, what's the combat staff? Where did it come from? What do we use it for? Well, 25-30 years ago, the New Zealand military asked me to design a system for a long baton that they could use in gang warfare, prison riots. It had to be strong, sturdy, and flexible. You know, you could use it in a confined space, in other words. Now, we based most of our maneuvers on the jo, the Japanese jo, but we found it was just a little bit too long, so our next thought was, what about the tactical baton? Again, a little bit too short, and would it absorb the impact of a baseball bat or a crowbar? We came up with the combat staff as it is now. It's a cut down slasher handle, end cut off, oval shape, fits the hand nicely, strong wood, it's made of hickory, and it would absorb most attempts to strike with a baseball bat or iron bar. So that was it. We designed all our combat skills around the use of this combat staff. Now, when we're teaching younger people, this was a little bit heavy for them to maneuver. So the next step was just a regular stick. This one's actually a cut down of a rake handle. It's about 900 long, fairly light. Okay, alright, so that's a brief history of the combat staff. Now let's move into some of the technique. Let's look at the basic grip. We hold the staff in both hands, the palms of your hands facing to the rear. The hands are spaced about the width of your thigh. Basic grip. Now, the next thing we want to do is go to the at ease position. Now to do this, the left hand puts the stick under our arm and then comes out. The ready position, the left hand goes in, brings the stick into ready position. So at ease, ready. Now why we do that, I don't want the stick just floating around everywhere. So I keep my left hand on so that it's under control all the time until I'm ready. Here. Now the next manoeuvre is the twirl. We let the stick roll in a circular motion here. And you do that by allowing it to rock through the thumb and the index finger. Give it a little bit of downward pressure and then let it roll. Adding to that, a twirl and a tuck. So what I do there is I twirl and then raise my elbow to put the stick away. Once again, a twirl and tuck. Here. Now there are 5 strikes that you need to learn. The first one is an overhead strike. Now, to do that we need to slide the right hand in a bit, swing the stick and take the left hand. See where my right hand is, now my left hand is. Okay? Replace your right hand with your left. Step forward and strike. Slide, strike. Now, the next one is a thrust with the end of the staff. And you'll notice I push with my right hand and it can be allowed to slide through the left hand here. Depends how far you want to reach, how far you allow it to slide. Alright, the next one is a punch cut. Now what we do here is we use either the right end or the left end, and you might have to let your hand again slide to strike. And then this one. 1, 2. Now the next one is a backhand slash. We let the stick go over our shoulder, we catch it, rotate the hand, punch it out. Let's look at that one again. As it goes over the shoulder, this hand is waiting for it. Takes hold of it. Now I've got to turn this top hand to be able to strike. The next one is what we call a shunt. Now what you do here is you pull the staff to your chest and then push it out. And you can do that on both sides. So it's strike, thrust, punch cut, either side, backhand slash. Now the strike, of course, instead of just going overhead, it can go also diagonal, horizontal, or down to the leg cut. So let's just recap. The combat staff, we've designed it because it's short. You can use it in a restricted area. It's strong enough to absorb a baseball bat being swung at you, or an iron bar, crowbar. It's very versatile. And think about it. It's 900 long. You could use an umbrella for exactly the same manoeuvres. So it's quite versatile. Alright, the basic grip. Both hands, palms facing to the rear, about the width of your thigh. To make an overhead strike, we slide the right hand in, rotate, take with the left, strike. 1. Now you might say, where my right hand was, my left hand now takes. And I bring the stick down. So it's 1. Now you notice how I roll the stick rather than up and down, because it's got to stop. So it's a jerky move. But if I allow the stick to float here, it's more continuous. Now the thrust, lean into it and allow the stick to be slid through your hand, and this hand is pushing it here. The next one is a backhand cut. And again, you allow the stick to slide through the hand. The shunt, you just push the stick towards the opponent, here. The backhand slash, we put the stick over the shoulder and the other hand's waiting to catch it. Rotate the hand, strike. 1, rotate, 2. Now it's important that you turn this hand over so that you can punch it in. You imagine trying to do it this way. You can't. So you've got to roll that hand over, strike. Okay, alright. Now, let's look at a kata that was designed from the Aikido bull kata, but we've shortened it down to 15 movements. Now, start with each. Double back, knee. Tap down, sun. She, go. Turn, rock. Hitch, hatch, ku, ju. Juich. Ju ni, ju san, ju yon, and ju go. Finish. Okay, let's go through that slowly. What you do is you advance and thrust the stick into the opponent, preempting his overhead strike. Then you double back to Nikoshidachi, block, using this surface. You then tap down and attack. You now body shift hard to the right, strike, then hard to the left, strike. You repeat that to the rear, then step back, step in, strike horizontally. Over, finally to the left. Come back to this position. Then it's like the beginning, one, but now straight through. Invert your hand, push. Now, body shift, drop down to the knee. Finish, up, tuck the stick away. Okay, next, let's show you the kata taken from the Heian Shodan, designed for the combat staff. Alright, let's go through it now a little bit slower and explain what we're doing. Alright, we're at ease position. Ready. We do a punch cut followed by an overhead strike. We invert the stick, rotate round, double strike. Overhead. Cut. Then a diagonal, 1, 2, 3. Now as I turn, I'm going to shunt. Overhead. Turn, shunt. Overhead. Backhand slash, push the stick out. Here, push. Here, push. Now round to Kibidachi, strike. Kibidachi, strike, and finish. Now the handwork for that can be a little bit tricky. I don't think the first couple of moves are difficult. You just punch, and then take, strike. Now what I do for the next one, I turn my hand over and put it under my arm. Now as I turn, I change hands. 1, 2, strike. Spin, tuck, 1. And now it's just again, see I turn my hand from here to here to here to here. Now, what I do now is again just turn And see, I've got to change my hands to turn, strike. Here. Now I've got to change my hands. Here. Now, I'll come this way. So again, it's here, and we go down the middle. Now it's over the shoulder, change your hand and step. 1. Repeat. 2. And I'll just back up. 3. Now, once we've done that one, again, tuck. And I've got to change my hands because I've got to come around to keep it arch. Through. Under the arm, change hands, thrust, strike, finish. So let's just recap the combat staff. It's a short stick, basic grip, at ease position, ready position, the twirl and tuck. Now, the 5 major strikes, the overhead, slide the hand, left hand comes in, strike. The thrust, the shunt, the punch cut, either side, the backhand slash, either side. Now, perhaps you could start with the Aikido kata. There are 15 movements in it. It's 1, Nikoshi arch, 2, tap down 3, then hard to the right, hard to the left, turn and repeat, turn, horizontal strike, over to the left, back to the resting position, thrust, 1 maneuver, invert your hand, push, body shift right over here before you drop to the knee. Finish. Now let's do it with the Japanese count. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, chich, hach, ku, ju, juich, ju ni, ju san, ju yon, ju go. Okay, good luck with that, but if you get stuck, come back to me and we'll go through it in more detail. Okay, good, thank you.